I'm sorry, it's recording. You've got to be quiet now. Video games and aliens go together like copy and paste. Sharks and tornadoes, or if you're so inclined, cheese and Marmite. So it's no surprise then that the Alien franchise of films has gone on to generate dozens of video game adaptations and tie-ins over the years. And in 1990, the same year that Tim Berners-Lee created the World Wide Web, the Hubble Space Telescope launched, the Cold War ended and the Gulf War started, Konami released Aliens to the arcade. Let's take a look. Without any console or PC ports, a Mega Drive version was rumoured to be in development at some point. For a long time, the only way you could experience the Aliens arcade game was mostly on an actual machine. Mostly. A game that, despite its popularity, wasn't always the easiest to track down. This, of course, isn't an original, but my homage to that legendary cabinet, and the only way I was actually allowed to build a machine at home, with my partner being a massive Aliens fan. Under the hood is the MAME version that was first made playable in June 2000, with the release of long-supported MAME version 0.37b5, allowing players the world over to experience this classic game at home for the first time. Joy! But now it's 2023, so stop your grinning and drop your linen. Thanks to MiSTer developer Jotego, Aliens is now playable on FPGA. And what an achievement this is. JT Friday, let's go! I'll be the first to admit that I'm no expert at the inner workings of the original game, with my own experience mostly limited to the emulated MAME version. But I can tell you right away that in true MiSTer fashion, this feels and plays amazing. And it's such a wonderfully fun game to get stuck into. Bombastic sound effects perfectly in sync with the on-screen action is so phenomenally visceral, it almost dares you to keep playing. Which brings me on to a minor issue I sometimes have with arcade games at home, in that there's less of a thrill, since real money isn't at stake. You know, I haven't just spaffed 20p up the wall for 30 seconds of gameplay. You just keep dropping in your virtual coins with very little at stake. But for some reason, with 90s Konami side-scrolling games such as Sunset Riders, The Simpsons, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Aliens, this is less of an issue for me. The levels themselves are always so varied, fun and enjoyable that I'm happy to just keep playing. So how about the game itself? Of course, Aliens is directly based on the ludicrously successful James Cameron helmed movie from 1986, and Konami's arcade game was also a smash hit with players and critics alike. With few detractors then, it's an undeniably superb side-scrolling shooter that sees you take on the role of Ripley or Hicks as they battle their way through hordes of aliens on a mission to rescue Newt, the young girl who's been abducted by the creatures. Featuring 6 levels that take place in a variety of settings, including a colony, spaceship, and the alien's hive, it culminates in a final boss battle against the alien queen herself. The action then rarely lets up, throwing all manner of scary space beasts and environmental danger at you. You'll need to stay on your toes to make it past even the first few stages, as this is, and I can't stress this enough, challenging. At least with the effective free play that we're granted by playing at home, this is somewhat mitigated, but it will take some time to really get into the flow. Ducking and fighting your way through each stage is a tough yet rewarding expedition that will no doubt see you reaching for continue after continue just to see what's around the next proverbial corner. Spoiler alert, it's Aliens. Whilst the majority of the game is side-scrolling, there are moments that switch the playstyle up a bit, putting you on an express elevator to hell or forward firing furiously, letting off round after round Contra style. As is the way with side-scrolling games of the era, collecting power-ups such as extra lives and health packs, as well as an arsenal of weapons including flamethrowers, grenades and machine guns is all on par. Each weapon delivers a devastating blow to the alien onslaught, each with a satisfying response, with the three-way laser making light work of the task at hand, and the rocket launcher sending Geiger's terrifying beasts packing. The flamethrower is easily one of my favourites though, jetting out a raging inferno that sets the enemies ablaze in a most exhilarating way. Burn, you alien scum, burn! The game's graphics are colourful and detailed, and the sound effects and music add to the atmosphere of the game, creating a tense and exciting experience that will remain with you long after it's game over, man. Game over! Aliens is a classic example of a side-scrolling shooter from the golden age of arcade gaming that you should certainly take the time to experience. In my opinion, it's a must-play, and on MiSTer, it's absolutely stunning. So, thanks once again to Jotego for making this a reality. His Patreon will be in the description, subscribe to my channel, and I'm done.